My name's Tam, and I'm originally South African. I've been living in the UK now for about 23 years. By profession, physio. I've been doing that for about 15 years. I work in a busy hospital in central London, and in my spare time, I'm a medical reservist in the RAF. Good question. So what drew me to investment and what drew me to vintage acquisitions is a bit of a story, actually, if that's okay. So about 2 years ago, I was deployed to Brunei with the military. It was a 6-month deployment, and there I experienced a whole different lifestyle. And postcard version is I found tax very annoying. And I started researching ways to just make it a bit more lucrative for myself. Equally, I got to thinking about pension a little bit later on in life, probably a little bit too late. So for me, it was trying to find something that was going to maximize my pension, my future, but equally not pay the tax. So I took my time in looking and researching companies. And back then, there were quite a few companies that contacted me. It was one of those online forms, fill out and we'll contact you. So I had shortlisted to 3 companies. And soon after the first one got in contact, I tried to reach back out and they didn't exist anymore, really. No replying to emails, no phone calls. So instantly that was a no-go. Then a second company was a little bit too eager. Instantly wanted sales, but not just normal sales. It was buying pallets of casks. And I felt very uncomfortable with that. And then I stumbled across vintage acquisitions. And the whole situation was just comfortable. It was comfortable. There was no pressure. I spoke to my portfolio manager, who is now my portfolio manager, on the phone, and we spoke for about 45 minutes. Luckily, he paid the bill, not me, because I was still in Brunei, and answered all my questions. Obviously, very, very skeptical to start off with. But the reason why I liked and went and decided to go with vintage acquisitions is because of the comfort that I felt, the research and the history, the fact that they survived COVID and worked with distilleries, helped the distilleries out. The history of the company was quite effective towards me. And I only invested when I came back from Brunei. So it took me about maybe 8 to 9 months from the initial phone call to coming in and visiting, speaking to Matthew on the phone multiple times, and then sussing everything out to then invest. So it wasn't a rushed decision. There was a lot of discussion. There was a lot of thought processes. And I think, yeah, definitely made the right choice. So I'm very happy to be here. Okay, so first conversation, very informative, very direct, honest, genuine, professional. I felt at ease. Then the journey from that conversation through to investing was equally just really comfortable. Very informative. I have to say that everyone that I've spoken to and have spoken to at Vintage Acquisitions, they know their stuff. I like drinking whiskey, I like tasting whiskey, but they know whiskey, and it makes a big difference when there's a passion behind something. And then when there's a passion behind what they believe in and their ethics, it makes me feel basically the exact same. So I have a passion now too. So after I invested, there's multiple touch points with my portfolio manager, with Matthew. Again, there's updates, there's constant updates and emails, newsletters. I've been in for a few whiskey tastings. I've met Matthew in the community. I'd like to say the community bars, which has helped just to get to know each other from like a relationship point of view. I always found Matthew being very approachable. No question is a stupid question. Sometimes in the beginning from the first investment, I still had a bit of a query, and I was rest assured straight away. No stone was left unturned, and it's exciting. It's exciting, and the company is exciting. The people here, like I said, just have this wonderful passion for whiskey, and it's catchy. It really is. Investment progression, and how do I feel? Investment progression, so part of the process is a re-gauging. So that I've purchased a few casks with Matthew, and we do touch-ins again. So last year we had a touch-in on the first cask, and the gauging and the valuation of the cask has gone up by 6.9%. It's still a very young whiskey, and the rest of it as well, like it's a time kind of waiting thing. So I think my attitude is improved. Like I've always been in it, and my decisions for whiskey has always been for longevity. So there's no quick, fast turnover. Again, in the beginning of this this recording, I mentioned that it was part of my pension. So longevity is always going to be there. So leaving the cask, trusting that your portfolio manager is going to choose a good one, a strong one, and a valuable one with growth, not only value and growth, but value with the APV, value like longevity again, as I said. So there's a lot of characters to it, a lot of variables to thinking about investment and with whiskey. So again, I'm excited. I definitely know that my choices have been solid because the guidance has been solid. If someone's on the fence about investing in cask whiskey, I would say do your due diligence and do research. You don't want to go blind into an investment when you don't feel comfortable, when you don't have all the information. Even if there's like just a little niggling feeling that you have to be cautious, it's there for a reason. So respect it, respond well to that, and ask all the questions that you need to. With vintage acquisitions, again, what I said earlier was one of the biggest attractions was the fact that they survived COVID. They were still trading during COVID. They found a different avenue, again, supporting the distilleries whilst supporting customers. So I would reiterate that. I didn't get good feelings on the other two potentials that I was looking at. If you're feeling rushed, it's a hard stop, no. And then looking at productivity, looking at company's house information, equally staffing. So if the company's hemorrhaging staff or if they are accruing staff numbers, then that would be a good incentive to continue because clearly there's a customer service. Equally, exiting the market is a big thing. Understanding what you are after. So I sat down with Matthew and he asked me what I wanted. Where was I looking to find myself in 10 to 12 years' time? And he listened and we established a portfolio around those needs. Obviously him being the professional, taking that all into consideration, and just having a good feeling, generally a good feeling about a company. And for me, this is them. Oh, the bonded warehouse. I'm super excited to go and visit my whiskey. It's unique. You can't do that anywhere else. And in Scotland, again, Scotland, I've got family there. What an experience. I'm very excited. I'm very much looking forward to it. I will invite only a selective few to come with me. Would I recommend you guys? I already have. And the reasons why I've done my recommendations is because there are plenty of investment opportunities in the UK. Plenty, but none of them give me this kind of excitement, give me this kind of feeling of trust and hope and just looking forward to the future. Not only am I enjoying tasting the whiskey, I'm enjoying the events, enjoying the socializing, but equally enjoying knowing that there's an investment parked over there that's passive for me, obviously not passive for the whiskey because it's doing really hard work, and accruing a value whilst I'm just having a fantastic time learning all about whiskey and vintage acquisitions. Definitely the right company for that. So I have told people, I've invited my family to come along. In fact, my uncle has come in and we've done Harveys on a few barrels together. My brother is in the pipeline. I'm telling all my friends. But equally, it's in that like difficult balance because I want to protect this for myself. It's my special thing. How dare you encroach on where my happy place? But obviously, with a company like this, you can't help but be excited for the future and for investments. And they're so lovely here. They really are lovely. So yeah, I'm happy to share and spread the love. My portfolio manager, Matthew, really great. Again, so knowledgeable about whiskies. Every time he opens his mouth, I learn something new. And he's very trustworthy and again, very professional. In every decision we make, it's always a joint decision. I never feel rushed. So he's great. Yeah, trust him, 100%.